Hello everyone, so we are the next reporter and we are going to just continue to discuss the electrical theory. So for our first discussion, pag-uusapan natin yung power. So kayo ba, have you ever wondered ba why yung ibang cars is nag-accelerate faster than the other one? Or yung ibang light bulbs is nag-shine brighter kaysa sa iba? So ang sagot dyan is power. So it all comes down to power. Pero sabi sa physics, yung power is not just about being strong, but it also talks about how quickly the work is done or the energy is used. So para mas lalo natin maintindihan kung ano ba yung power, let's discuss the definition of it. So let's read the definition of power. Sinasabi sa first bullet that power is the rate at which work is accomplished. It is work or energy released divided by time. So, sinasabi lang dito that power is all about how fast you get something done. So, kuwari may box kang gustong buhatin, you have the choice if you wanted to lift that box quickly or slowly. Either way naman, you are doing the same amount of work. But if you wanted to lift that box quickly, syempre, mas marami kang power na kailangan gamitin. So, sa second bullet naman, yung horsepower is a unit of measurement that tells us how much power something has. So, karaniwan na natin siya naririnig sa mga sasakyan, sa mga engines, ganyan ayun yung ginagamit. But ayun nga, another unit of measurement na ginagamit is yung watt if we are using a metric system, pero pag English system naman is horsepower yung ginagamit natin. Then yung last bullet naman, it explains lang that the horsepower is equal to lifting a 33,000 pounds of weight 1 foot in the air in 1 minute. So it's just another way to think about how much work 1 horsepower can do. So sa next slide is may kita natin, let's read the electrical unit of power is the watt, as I've said earlier. So ayun, the watt can be related to other measures of power. So sa slide na to pinapakita lang yung different conversions if you wanted na ibang tawag dito, unit of measurement ng power yung kailangan mo gamitin. So 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. Yung isang watt naman is equal to 3,113 BTU per hour. Tapos yung 1 kilowatt is equal to 1,000 watts. Tapos yung isang megawatts is equal to 1 million watts. So let's move on to the Joule's law. So sinasabi dito, on a direct current circuit, voltage and amperage are related to wattage through the DC power equation, also known as Joule's law, where P is equal to voltage in watts, V is equal to voltage in watts, IC is equal to the current in amperes. So what it means that power is equal to voltage times ampere. Then if voltage increases, current decreases. So in simple term guys, this is how electricity works in a direct current circuit. So yung voltage para siyang yung pressure nagpo-push dun sa electricity. Tapos yung amperage naman is yung how much electricity yung nagfo-flow dun. Tapos yung wattage na tinutukoy or yung power is yung resulta ng pag-multiply mo sa dalawa, sa voltage saka sa amperage. Tapos so yun, if you increase yung voltage, syempre you'll need less amperage to get the same power and vice versa. So parang ano lang siya, may malawak na ilog tapos mabagal yung taloy ng tubig, tapos versus sa makitid na ilog pero mabilis yung taloy ng tubig. So they both can carry the same amount of water pero magkaiba yung speed nila tsaka yung width. Ayan. So yun lang yung pinaka-pino-point out doon. So sa next slide naman natin, may kita natin yung tawag dito, different formulas na pwedeng gamitin. So ito sinasabi yung P, power is equal to current times voltage. And if we are finding for the current is equal to power over voltage. Tapos lastly sa voltage naman equals sa power over ampere. So or current. So yun. So let's learn more. So may example na binigay dito. A lamp is designed for use at 120 voltage and has a current draw of 0.5 ampere. Determine the power consumed. So gagamitin lang natin yung formulang sinabi ko kanina na yung voltage times yung ampere. So yung 120 voltage, ita times lang natin siya sa 0.5 na ampere. Then ang makukuha natin is 60 watts. So ayun, ganun lang siya kadali. Ano lang siya, manipulate mo lang yung formula kung anong ginagamit. So moving on, so I want you guys to try this one and yun, tinakpan ko talaga kung ano yung magiging answer. Check nyo na lang sa presentation namin na i-upload kung tama ba yung nakuha nyo or hindi. So that's all for the power, and I'm giving the floor to the next reporter.
So ang next one natin is energy. So ang notation natin nito is letter E. So sinasabi dito na ang energy ay tumutukoy sa dami ng trabaho o work na gagawa ng isang appliance habang ginagamit ito. Makukuha ito kapag ang appliance ay o yung power rating ng appliance ay i-multiply natin sa oras ng paggamit. So ang unit na ginagamit natin ay watt hours. So kung halimbawa kung gagamit ka ng 100 watts na bombilya sa loob ng 5 oras, so i-multiply lang natin yung 100 watts sa 5 hours. So meron tayong makukuha 500 watt hours. So ibig sabihin 500 watt hours yung nakonsumo. Sa standard billing, sa totoong buhay, sinasabi dito na yung ginagamit ng mga electric companies is para sa billing ay kilowatt hour, hindi watt hour. So 100 kilowatt hour is equals to 1 kilowatt hour ay equivalent sa 1,000 watt hours. Kung 100 na bumbilya yung ginagamit mo sa kung may 100 watts na bumbilya na ginagamit mo sa 10 oras, 100 watts times 10 hours ay meron kang 1,000 watt hours, or equivalent nun is 1 kilowatt hour. So counted yun as 1 unit ng kuryente sa bill mo. So dito sa electrical energy consumption, sinasabi dito na it can be determined by the following expression, where P is expressed in watts and time in hours of operation. So ang formula lang natin dito is E is equals to P times T, where E is energy and watt hours, tapos P is equals to powers, is equal to power na naka watts yung unit, tapos T is equals to time in hours. So yung energy is para lang din po siyang power. So kung kanina meron tayo power is equals to work over time, so parang yung energy parang energy over time lang din po yun. Then i-manipulate na lang natin para makuha natin yung P times time. So sample problem po tayo. Dito the power rating of clothes washing machine is 350 watts and of a dryer is 4,600 watts. So unang tanong, how many kilowatt hour of energy will be used by the washer in 15 minutes, and how many kilowatt of energy will be used by the dryer in 45 minutes. So doon muna tayo sa A. So sinabi ko kanina na yung energy is power times time lang yan. So sa washing machine, meron tayong 0.35 kilowatts. So convert na natin yung 350, and then meron tayong 0.25 hours. So ang makukuha nating energy is 0.0875 kilowatt hours. And then sa letter B naman, meron tayong 4,600 watts. Pag kinonvert natin sa kilowatt hour is magiging 4.6 kilowatt hour. And then meron tayong 45 minutes na pag kinonvert natin sa hours is 0.75 hours. So i-multiply lang natin, ang makukuha natin is 3.45 kilowatt hour. Electrocution. So sabi dito na humans are conductors of electricity and have electrical resistance similar to any other materials. So sinasabi dito na ang tao ay conductors ng kuryente. Ang katawan ng tao ay nakakadaloy ng kuryente katulad ng ibang materials. So meron tayong electrical resistance, pero hindi ito sapat para pigilan ang daloy ng kuryente kapag may contact. So ang pinakamababang current na mararamdaman natin is 0.001 ampere or 1 milliamp. So, kapag ang electric current ay umabot ng 1 milliamp, usually nararamdaman na ito ng tao. So, kapag less than 0.001 ampere or less than 1 milliamp, so hindi pa siya mararamdaman ng tao. So, parang may konting kuryente ng tumama pero hindi pa delikado sa level na ito. So, at currents higher than 0.05 ampere or 50 milliamps, nakaka-produce na ng heat. Enough na ito para ma-burn yung human skin and tissue. So, at pwede rin maapektuhan na ang puso at mag-cause ng death. So, a person may survive an electrocution if his or her heart can be restarted again. So, kung na-electrocute yung tao at tumigil ang puso, may chance pang mabuhay kung agad siyang mabibigyan ng paunang tulong. So, ang example dito is yung CPR o defibrillator na pwedeng gamitin para mapagana ulit yung puso. So, tandaan, ang electric shock may dumaan na kuryente pero hindi agad mamatay. So, ang electrocution, malalang shock na nakakamatay. So, yun lamang po. At dumako naman tayo sa susunod na reporter.
I will be discussing these two types of current, which is direct and alternating current. In this slide, shows the difference of current flow, which is direct current flows in one direction and is steady, while alternating current changes direction periodically and is more suitable for power transmission. On the left side, the arrow all points in one direction. This means that electrons flow steadily from the negative terminal to the positive terminal of the power source. The polarity does not change, so the current remains constant and stable. On the right side, the arrow changes direction back and forth. This shows that in AC, the direction of current flows keep reversing. At one moment, it flows from negative to positive, and then switch it to flow from positive to negative. In the direct current, is only one fixed direction commonly supplied by batteries or solar cells. And alternating current, reversing direction supplied by power plants and its use in homes and industries. In this slide, direct current when the circuit is closed, the voltage quickly rises to a constant level and stays steady, which results in a continuous flow of current in one direction. This is shown in the graph as a flight line after the initial rise. On the other hand, in a alternating circuit, the voltage does not stay constant but instead repeatedly rises and falls, changing direction over time. When plotted on the graph of voltage versus time, this produces a sine wave pattern showing the continuous reversal of current flow. In short, direct current provides a steady and unidirectional voltage, while alternating current produces a fluctuating voltage that alternates between positive and negative in a wave-like form.
For the next part of our report is AC generator. When the conductor loop rotates through the magnetic field between the poles of a stationary magnet, current is induced in the windings. As long as the loop is rotating, current will flow. If rotation stops, so does current flow. So, si AC generator ay isang parang machine na gumagawa ng kuryente sa pamamagitan ng pag-ikot at ng magnet. Kapag umiikot yung conductor loop sa gitna ng magnetic field, nagkakaroon ng induced current o kuryente na dumadaloy sa wire. Basta tuloy-tuloy yung pag-ikot nun, tuloy-tuloy din yung kuryente na dadaloy. And kapag huminto, agad din namang hihinto yung daloy ng kuryente sa mga wire. Next is single-phase alternating current power. So, a single-phase AC distribution system refers which all of the voltages of the supply vary in unison. Uses two conductors, neutral and live. Variants nito is split phase, two voltages sources 180 apart. Fewer wires on both the electrical distribution system and the customer system. So, kadalasan or application nito is sa mga bahay, small businesses, and farms. Hindi siya suitable for large motors or heavy industry. Kapag sinabing single phase AC system, ibig sabihin nun, yung kuryenteng dumadaloy ay sabay-sabay na nagbabago ng direction. Sabay ang galaw ng voltage, walang nahuli o nauuna. So, bakit nga ba ito yung ginagamit sa mga bahay, small businesses, and farms? So, una kasing dahilan is mas konti yung wires, kaya mas mura at simple yung distribution. And ginagamit siya sa mga nabanggit kasi nga sapat na yung nabibigay niyang power para doon sa mga nabanggit na yan. Next is three-phase alternating current power. Consists of three separate lines of single-phase power with each line out of phase by 120 degree. Typically have three current carrying, hot or live, conductors plus one grounded neutral conductor. Three-phase AC power is used to run motors that drive large machinery and large air conditioning blowers. So, kung ang single-phase AC power ay isa lang yung wave ng kuryente na sabay-sabay yung galaw. Sa three-phase naman, merong tatlong linya ng kuryente. Bawat linya ay parang single-phase pero may agwat na 120 sa cycle. So, dahil dito, hindi sabay-sabay nawawalan ng power, laging may kasunod na wave ng kuryente. Ginagamit ang three-phase AC sa malalaking motors na nagpapatakbo ng heavy machinery sa mga pabrika, large air conditioning systems, kagaya sa mga mall, mga building o factory, mga lugar na kailangan ng malalakas at steady at supply na power. Next is, ito naman, mga example, makikita nyo sa pictures, example ng single-phase alternating power at three-phase alternating power. So, nandyan yung single-phase, yung mga typical na appliances o mga ginagamit sa bahay. While yung sa three-phase alternating power, ito naman, hindi nyo madalas siya makikita sa mga bahay. Which is, makikita nyo siya, halimbawa, itong nasa baba na picture, yung color white. Madalas makita yan sa mga labas ng mall or halimbawa na sa mga train stations, 'di ba? Sa labas na merong mga ganyan.
Before we end our discussion, let's have a short summary about the electrical theory part 2. So, first we have the power. Power refers to the rate at which work is done and is commonly measured in watts. So, sa power is dito natin malalaman kung gaano ba kabilis nako-consume ng isang device yung energy. And yung SI unit ng power is watts. Ang formula naman ng power is makukuha natin by the Joule's law. So, Joule's law states that the power consumed in an electrical circuit depends on the product of voltage and current. It uses the formula P equals to VI, or power is equal to voltage times the current. So, according to Joule's law is makukuha natin yung power by multiplying the voltage and the current. And makukuha din natin yung voltage and current kapag gamit yung equation na to or yung formula na to. So kapag voltage naman yung hinahanap is just divide the power by the current, and kapag current naman yung hinahanap is just divide the power by the voltage. And next is pwede din malaman natin yung energy consumption ng isang appliances. So paano ba natin nakukuha yung energy consumption ng isang appliances? So the electrical energy consumption is determined by multiplying the power used by the appliance to the amount of the time it is used. So, malalaman natin yung energy consumption ng isang appliances is kapag minultiply natin yung power na meron yung appliances and yung time na ginagamit siya, kung gaano katagal. So, since minumultiply na natin siya sa time, yung magiging unit ng energy consumption is kilowatts hours. So, next is electric current can be supplied by direct current or alternating current. So, direct current refers to the one-directional flow of a current in a circuit, and alternating current, on the other hand, refers to the movement of current in both direction in alternating turns. So, what's the difference ba between the direct current and alternating current? So, yung pinagkaiba lang ng dalawang to is, yung direct current is, yung current flow niya is on one direction. Kapag alternating current naman, yung current flow niya is on reverse direction. And yung alternating current is classified into single phase AC power and three phase AC power. So the difference between the single phase and the three phase AC power is yung single AC power consists of only one alternating power, which makes it less than efficient and heavy loads, making it only useful for small appliances. And kapag naman yung three-phase AC power has three alternating voltage cycles, providing a smoother and more stable power distribution suitable for heavy machineries. So, feel ko ang tatandaan na lang dito sa dalawang to is yung single-phase AC power is for small scale loads lang na power, and kapag yung three-phase AC power naman is for heavy machineries naman. So, that's all for the electrical theory part 2, and we hope you learned something from our group. Thanks.